Hey, welcome back to the Stoic Compass. I'm Jim.
And I'm Ellie. Great to have you with us as we explore some more Stoic wisdom.
Before we dive in, if you're finding value in these discussions, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It helps us reach more people.
So, Ellie, today we're tackling an interesting piece called, The Danger of Being Confidently Wrong. Sounds kind of intense, doesn't it?
It does, Jim, but it's a very Stoic concept at its core.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
The article is by William Moore.
Okay.
And it's on blog.theheroicstoic.com.
Okay, so the article starts with a personal story about changing preferences.
Right.
As folks trying to live a Stoic life, how can we handle changing our minds or tastes without feeling like we're being inconsistent?
Makes sense.
I mean, how can we be adaptable instead of just, fickle?
That's a great question, Jim.
Thanks.
From a Stoic perspective, it's all about recognizing what's within our control and what isn't.
Right.
Our preferences, our tastes, those are external.
I see.
They can change.
Right, like the weather.
Exactly.
Right.
What is within our control is how we respond to those changes.
Makes sense.
Living a virtuous life, pursuing wisdom, those are internal.
Yeah.
Those should remain our constant goals.
So, except that our tastes might change, but our dedication to living a good life shouldn't? Makes sense.
Precisely. Now, what does it mean to be confidently wrong, as the article presents it? And why is it more dangerous than just being ignorant from a Stoic point of view?
Good question. Is being confidently wrong worse than being ignorant?
From a Stoic standpoint, absolutely.
Right.
Ignorance is simply a lack of knowledge.
Makes sense.
You can always learn.
True.
But being confidently wrong is clinging to an incorrect belief, preventing you from seeking truth and potentially leading to bad decisions. It blocks your path to wisdom.
Okay, so it's like having a wrong map and thinking you know where you're going when you're actually headed off a cliff.
Exactly. Now, the author suggests that being confidently wrong can lead to bad decisions. How can Stoic practices, like focusing on what we can control and remembering that virtue is the only real good, help us avoid the pitfalls of bad judgment?
Right. So how does Stoicism help us make better choices?
By constantly reminding ourselves to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our judgments, our actions, and to align those with virtue. If we're always striving to act with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, we're less likely to be swayed by incorrect beliefs or emotions.
So if I'm about to make a decision, I should ask myself, is this choice wise?
Right.
Is it just...
Makes sense.
Is it courageous?
Yeah,
Is it temperate?
Precisely. And if the answer is no, then you know you need to reevaluate.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Right.
The article also talks about constantly checking yourself.
Makes sense.
What Stoic techniques like journaling or reviewing your day can we use to find and question areas where we might be confidently wrong?
This is crucial, Jim.
Right.
Self-reflection is key to Stoic practice.
Makes sense.
Journaling, as you mentioned, is a fantastic tool.
Yeah.
Taking time each day to examine your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, it allows you to identify patterns and potential biases.
Right, like asking yourself, why did I react that way?
Yeah.
Is that a reasonable response?
Makes sense.
Was I operating on assumptions that might be incorrect?
Exactly.
Right.
And be willing to challenge your own beliefs.
Makes sense.
Don't be afraid to admit you might be wrong.
Speaking of which, how does being willing to admit we don't know something help us live a more virtuous and successful life, in line with the Stoic pursuit of wisdom?
Humility is essential to Stoicism, Jim.
Right.
Admitting you don't know something opens you up to learning and growth.
Makes sense.
It allows you to be receptive to new ideas and perspectives.
Yeah.
It's the foundation of wisdom.
So it's like the more I admit I don't know, the more I can know?
Precisely, it's about intellectual honesty.
Right.
Now, let's get real here.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of a time you were confidently wrong? Or saw someone else who was?
I see.
How did you or they use Stoic ideas to deal with it?
Whoa, putting me on the spot.
While Jim thinks about that, I hope our listeners are also reflecting on how this information is affecting you.
I remember one time I was sure I knew how to fix the sink.
Oh, no.
I ended up flooding the bathroom and having to call a plumber.
Oh, dear.
Looking back, I should have admitted I was out of my depth and called for help sooner. That would have been the wise and temperate thing to do.
A valuable lesson learned. Well, folks, I think that's all the time we have for today.
Yeah, I think so too. Thanks for exploring the danger of being confidently wrong with us. It's been enlightening.
Indeed. Remember to constantly question your assumptions and embrace humility in your pursuit of wisdom. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Until next time, stay stoic.